Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Organized with Joy. Today's video is another monthly challenge video. If you've been around my channel for a while, then you might know that each month I challenge myself to do something outside of my comfort zone that will just help me to have better or healthier habits. And this is a collaboration video that I do each month with a group of really amazing YouTube friends that I have. This challenge video is hosted by Jessica Myros and myself, and so I hope this video gives you some sort of motivation or inspiration. I will be sure to link the playlist in the description box below so that you can see all of the other ladies' videos. We all choose a different challenge each month, so it's just whatever we want to challenge ourselves to do. So you'll get different types of inspiration watching that playlist. And this month I decided to do something a little bit different than I've ever done before. And I have been thinking about how I love getting into nature and how it just feels so rejuvenating and so healing. When I went on my Florida trip and we were outside a lot, it reminded me how much I love nature. So over the past month since I've been home from Florida, I have been trying to get outside every single day just to be in the fresh air and in the nature. But I wanted to push myself a step even further, and I wanted to go outside for at least 1 week, and I will document this week and just be without my phone, without any sort of distractions. And I also want to take off my shoes and be barefoot and just connect my feet to the earth. I feel like there's something about connecting with nature that way that really grounds you, and it also just resets your mood. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I hope that it'll just really give me a chance to take a breath in my day, and that I will just be able to focus on nature and focus on shifting my mood. So I'll share that process with you and let you know my thoughts on it. Okay, I thought I needed to check in because it's actually been almost a week since I started this challenge. And my intention was to make this a week-long challenge, and that every day I would get outside without my phone and have my bare feet on the ground. But I haven't been able to do it every single day just because of my schedule and things that have been going on in my everyday life. So I have found that I'm really struggling to make this a part of my routine. I have been getting outside every day, but not always in that manner without my phone and my bare feet on the ground and being kind of intentional about it. But I realized if I do want to make this a long-term habit of mine, that maybe it's more practical and reasonable to not necessarily do it every single day, but to make sure I'm doing it several times a week, which I have this week done it several times, maybe like 4 or 5 times in the week. So that's, I guess, good. But I have found that this challenge is very difficult for me because I am more of like an active, energetic person. I like to be getting things done. I love working with my hands. And so to do something so quiet is very difficult, especially if I'm not doing it first thing in the morning. So it's hard to just break up my day and just stop what I'm doing and just get in the moment like that. So it truly is a challenge for me. I definitely have a hard time just being quiet and not having something active to do. But yesterday when I went out there, I haven't been filming myself every time I go out just because obviously I want to be in the moment. I want to be enjoying the time that I have and making it meaningful. So yesterday when I was out there, I kind of wish that I was filming, because I have this red bird that comes and visits me every spring, and I just see this bird flying around in front of my windows throughout the day. And yesterday I was just standing out in my yard, and the bird landed right next to me on a branch, and it just started singing. And I just sat there and I was just in the moment. I had nothing else to do but just look at this red bird and listen to it singing. And it was so beautiful. It was just like something where I was just really drinking in the moment. And I don't know, like after my grandmother passed away, I kind of joked in my mind, I don't know if you've ever heard, like cardinals are supposed to represent family members who have passed on. And so I just had this moment where I felt like it was my grandmother just coming to talk to me, and I was just in that moment. So it was really beautiful, and I'm glad that I had that moment where I wasn't distracted by other things, and I was just standing barefoot in the grass listening to this red bird sing. I do feel like it's going to take more than a week to make this more of a habit and to really see the benefits of it. I know that it's really beneficial to be out in nature. I know it's beneficial for your mood, your mental health. So I will continue doing this, and hopefully I'll have some more updates for you. I have I think a couple of weeks before this video is due. So even though my intention was for this to be a week-long challenge, I think I'm going to continue stretching this out for another couple of weeks and just see where that goes. Okay, I wanted to give an update in part because I recently learned that walking outside without shoes is actually a whole movement. It's a thing. It's called grounding or earthing, and I guess people do it for health benefits. And I actually didn't know this when I decided to do this challenge. I feel like I'm someone who's pretty in tune with my body, and I consider myself to be kind of an intuitive person, and it was just something that I thought would be good to really connect with nature. So I actually saw a TikTok video about it, and I was like, what in the world? So of course I had to go do research, and I found a whole website with a book that was written called Earthing. And there's actually a documentary that was made, and it is on YouTube, so I can go ahead and link that in the description box if you're interested in watching it. It basically talks about the science behind it, and it's really fascinating because basically having your feet on the earth has like natural electrons that like are transferred into your body. And you know, a long time ago, people didn't wear shoes, and it was like kind of nature's way of healing, I guess. The electrons are basically like natural antioxidants. So they did studies and found that people who would participate in this, walking outside with no shoes on, their inflammation would reduce, and therefore pain would reduce as well. So it's really been fascinating to me to jump into the research of it. If you have time, definitely go check out that documentary, because there's different perspectives from doctors, and the gentleman who's the author of Earthing, he was actually in the cable TV industry, and so he started thinking about how wires needed to be grounded, and so that's kind of how he started thinking about this idea of grounding. And he just has some really interesting stories, so I definitely highly recommend that documentary if you want to learn more about it. But I haven't necessarily noticed per se any health benefits. I haven't had any pain, so it hasn't necessarily helped with pain management or anything. I do feel like it's very connected with meditation, or just quieting yourself, quieting your mind. And I do feel like that's really beneficial, especially in today's society where we just have so much that we are exposed to every day, and just having little computers in our back pockets that are constantly buzzing and dinging and trying to distract us from life. So I just found that it's really good to even just take 10 minutes in your day to just go outside without your phone. Being outside in nature in and of itself, I think, is really healing. But then add on top of that this whole grounding thing, and it makes it even better. So I have noticed that it's gotten easier. The first day I was really having trouble staying focused. Like my mind was just wandering, and I just wanted to be done with it. I was like it was kind of like a to-do list check off instead of really enjoying the moment. But as the days have gone on, I feel like I've been able to really enjoy the moment of quietness, and just enjoy the moment of not being distracted by all of the other things, and just to really breathe and relax and pay attention to my 5 senses and just enjoy those moments. Another just random thing, here in Texas, our grass is not like nice, luxurious grass. Even in the height of spring, when there's rain and all that and the grass is blooming, it still is not comfortable to walk on. And on top of that, we have a lot of mature trees in our yard, and so there's leaves everywhere and like sticks and all that sort of stuff. So at first it was like really uncomfortable to walk around in the backyard, but my feet are definitely getting used to that, and I'm just more focused on the overall experience rather than wow, this is uncomfortable on my feet. So I definitely want to try to incorporate this into my life in general. I want to find opportunities to just take off my shoes more often. Okay, I actually filmed my outro yesterday, but I had to do this update. I decided to come out on the closed part of the golf course. Our back 9 where we live is closed, and so a lot of people just come back here to walk and run and bring their dogs back here. So I came back here to walk barefoot in the grass, and actually to take some B-roll for this video. And I just had kind of an amazing experience. I did have my phone with me just because I've been gone probably for 30 minutes now, and I just always like to have my phone on me when I'm going to be gone for extended periods of time in case my kids or my husband need to contact me. But I was listening to some praise music, and music does always affect me emotionally, but this was different. I had a very emotional experience just walking through the grass with my feet. I felt very, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. I felt very, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Wow, okay. I felt very peaceful, like a different kind of peace than I've ever felt. And if you're new here, I have talked on my channel before about my anxiety issues. I do suffer from anxiety, and it was just such a peaceful and like quietness of my soul, where I wasn't thinking about my to-do list. I was just in the moment. And I've been working so hard at living intentionally and living in the moment, and I've been really struggling with that because I'm such a task-oriented person. So it was just such an amazing feeling, and I definitely want to make this part of my regular routine. I apologize if this part of the video is not very good video quality. I just thought maybe I should document it like in the moment while I just experienced it, instead of waiting to get home, just documenting it out here in the moment. But anyway, if that doesn't encourage you to do grounding, then I don't know what will. But I wanted to share that. Okay, I have one more update for today. After I got done walking around on the golf course, I went on a run. I came back home and dropped my dog off because he's getting too old to run now, and I did put on my running shoes. I did not run barefoot. But I noticed I felt so amazing on my run, and it's been a long time since I felt that good while working out. And I think it has to do with the reduction of inflammation in the body. It's basically a natural painkiller to walk around outside barefoot. So I think it also increases blood flow. Actually, what is it? I was just reading about it. Okay, so it reduces blood viscosity, which basically is what causes the reduction in inflammation, because I think it's kind of like when you take an ibuprofen and it like thins your blood. Basically this is like a natural blood thinner, so that's why it reduces inflammation, if I'm understanding it correctly, but I am not a doctor, so maybe don't listen to me. But I basically just wanted to get on here to tell you that there's definitely something to this for sure. I feel like I'm a believer now. So I just wanted to tell you that as well. I hope that this video inspired you in some way, that it inspired you, if nothing less, to challenge yourself to do something outside of your comfort zone. But remember that this is a collaboration. I will have the playlist linked down below in my description box so you can get inspiration and motivation from all the other ladies and the challenges that they will be doing this month. But thank you so much for watching this video all the way through to the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.